What's going on, Vault Dwellers? It's Top Rank and Noob, and I'm back at it again with another helpful video for Fallout 76. Hey, if you guys want to check out some cool Fallout 76 gear, make sure you head on over to U4GM. I'm going to be putting a link down in the description along with a coupon code that's going to be saving you 5%. Since we've had our patch a couple of days ago, I've seen comments on several different videos where people had mentioned that the Scorch Beast Queen was now invincible, or practically invincible. I decided to put this to the test. I will say, just long story short, that she is not invincible, but if you want to take down the Queen, be prepared to bring a lot of bullets, a lot of friends, and hope that this Bethesda game somehow glitches out to where she doesn't move a lot. Now, I know what you're thinking, what are the odds of that actually happening? Bethesda built a pretty rock-solid game here, and they followed up with pretty rock-solid patches. Well, let's take a look and find out just how often this Scorch Beast Queen might glitch out, if at all. So for this fight, we started off with, I believe, about 7 people. We ended up with about 8. And each and every single one of us was over a level 100. And it seemed like everybody had some pretty powerful weapons, or at least weapons that were powerful prior to the patch. Now let me say that I am glad that they did beef this up a bit, because before it wasn't very challenging at all. And I'm all about a challenge. If a game's not going to be challenging, then what's the point of even playing? Now, with keeping that in mind though, I did start off with a 50 caliber machine gun, and I had almost 1,000 bullets. I think I was at like 900 bullets, thinking that that would definitely be enough to get through the game. It clearly was not. This weapon barely put a scratch in the Queen. Keeping that in mind, I did say in this video that she's not invincible. We do end up bringing her down. I didn't say that it was actually worth the effort, however. Here is a quick tip for you though that didn't realize this. If you watch this video, you're going to see that most of the people are inside this base on top of a wall. And although that seems like a good place to go so you're not getting hit by all the different mobs that spawn, the Queen will never actually land if everybody is up there. The best thing to do is get on open ground and give the opportunity to land, because when she's on ground, that's going to give you the most opportunity to put some damage onto her. Well, let me correct myself. She will land. It's not like she'll never land, but she won't land nearly as often, so she's far less likely to land unless everybody's on open ground. That's why I never liked when people built bases over here, because if you're on a base, it also reduces her chance of landing. But in the past, she wasn't that difficult to kill, so it was never a big deal. Now, though, after the patch, she's extremely difficult to kill, and if you want to take her down, you need to get her to land as often as possible. Even with all of that being said and done, it was taking us forever in order to bring her health down. It didn't look like we were going to be able to make it. Luckily for us, and this really shouldn't be the case in order to kill this enemy, but luckily for us, about halfway through the fight, she started freezing and getting stuck and glitching out nonstop. And if it wasn't for that, we would have never been able to take the Queen down. So let's take a look at some of the glitches that the Queen can do, because if you're going to take her down, you're going to have to take full advantage of all of these. One of the most common ones is when she just sits there and stops moving. Essentially, you can just hit her all day long. The best bet to do here is to shoot her in the face. Now, in this case, she's done this a few times throughout this fight, but there's also this particular glitch where she tried to charge somebody, and she just keeps charging and charging and charging. This is the same exact situation. Take advantage of this opportunity, get to the front of her, and just everyone start focusing on the head. Now, this one probably looks a little more familiar when she was attacking, and then all of a sudden, she just completely stops moving. The best bet here is to go around. I mean, all these body shots are good and nice, but if you see that she quits moving, take advantage of the opportunity. Try to navigate your way around into the front, and just have everyone try to focus on the head as well. And this is probably the most common glitch that I've seen the Queen do, where she's just attacking on ground, and then all of a sudden she chills out. Eventually she'll unglitch, of course, and take flight again, but take advantage of the opportunity while you can. Now, in this case, she actually did this glitch like twice in a row. She started moving around. We thought that she was going to take flight again, but then she just froze all over again. And this happened a lot throughout this fight. And, I mean, it's a stupid glitch to have, but honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that she was doing this, we would have never been able to take her down. And this is with 8 solid people with 8 solid guns, 8 solid armor. So not necessarily the best of, but it's a pretty strong team. A team of 8 that's still struggling to take the Scorch Beast down. This is getting borderline ridiculous. Now here's another glitch that you'll see from the Queen from time to time. This one a little less often. Well, maybe just as often, but it's not always this close to the ground. She'll take flight, but she'll just sit there and hover. We got lucky because she did this extremely close to the ground, so anybody that had a halfway decent range weapon can hit her. I've seen her do this like high elevated in the sky before, to where like anyone that didn't have a good ranged weapon wasn't going to be able to do much damage to her. We just got fortunate enough that she started doing this close to the ground so we can get that extra damage in. Top that off with some more freezing on the ground so we can get some more headshots, followed up by some more freezing on the ground so we can get more headshots. You can see that timer going down and down and down. At least a lot faster than the health goes down. We did manage to kill her with like extra 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes left to spare. But in the end result, what was it really worth? She finally dropped. And let's take a look at what we looted from her. With all of that effort, I got an assassin's wooden arm piece, a couple of plans that I already knew, and some stim packs. So the loot drop hasn't changed at all for this queen, but the amount of bullets that it took to actually take her down was ridiculous. And what's even worse is that the fact that I picked up that assassin's wooden arm piece, but it did not make it into my inventory. This is an old glitch from way back when you pick something up, but it just ninja vanishes into thin air. Not that I really wanted that particular piece of armor. I mean, it was junk anyways. I'm assuming I didn't even get to look at the full stats. But come on, dude. What if that was like a really good weapon? All of the ammo, all of the efforts that we put into there, and then the loot doesn't even make it into my inventory. So is it worth the effort to take out the queen? I'm going to have to sit there and say no. Absolutely not. Again, I'm all about a challenge, but that's ridiculous. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys interested in still killing the queen? Has any of you guys actually been able to kill the queen aside from this particular group? Because that was predominantly sheer luck. Let us know what you think down in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you all next time.